Hello everyone, my name is Ark and welcome back to another third-party kit review. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the DCG Toys Son Goku base form and Super Saiyan head sculpts. And honestly, I have not been hearing good things about these custom head sculpts because I've been hearing a lot of breakage, I've been hearing a lot of issues with it. So I am not too excited to deal with issues. So yeah, I bought these through 5K Toys. I'm pretty sure they did sell out, unfortunately. So if you want some of them, you would have to hunt them down through AliExpress. And here I have the Super Saiyan Goku that I'm going to be using as my subject for this video. So while I'm talking, let me get these out real quick. So I, again, ordered the base form and the Super Saiyan one. Mainly because they seemed good at the time, and these have been, they were available at the time, because before I was gonna make this kind of like a Kaioken Goku look, or just a base form beefy Goku look. So this is like the only third-party head sculpt that I actually really liked in terms of how they looked. And they do come with 3 different pegs. Now, here is where things kind of go a little south, maybe. Because I don't know which one is which. Let me just... like that. So you're going to have to get rid of these over here on the sides. If I can get it going. But again, when I bought these, they honestly looked really nice, although they are expensive. They were like 40 bucks per set. And one of the things that I don't necessarily like is this little spike here for the hair. So Goku does have that spiked up hair in a couple of certain positions, or a couple of different promotional shots. It's not necessarily something that is too prominent, so I've seen a lot of people break theirs already, but if you do it with care, you should be able to just insert it easily. So again, just be careful with your toys, people. Be careful with them. So again, here's the spike for the hair. Looks really nice. Like, again, the hair sculpt is probably on the same level of just detail-wise as Bandai, at least as for recent times. Again, these head sculpts were announced way before the base form Goku and pretty much anyone else. Let me clean my camera. There we go. It's very bright. Why is it so bright? It's a little better. What the heck? I did change the background, so as you can see, there's a pure pitch black background cloth. It's not longer paper, so it actually probably is changing the it's probably changing the lighting here. So this is how they look so far. So yeah, now again, I have heard a lot of QC issues with these guys, but so far they look pretty nice. So here's the Super Saiyan hair sculpt. Again, the nice flowy bleached hair, which is nice. I have heard that you need to either lube these guys up or just warm them up so you can actually insert the pegs and everything like that. So do be careful while you're actually doing it. So let me fully take these out and figure out which of the pegs you need for the actual figure is. So give me 1 second while I do that. Alright, so here are all the different head sculpts that I got. Again, there's only 2. There's not that many. But we have to figure out which peg we need. Now, I did do a little bit of research off camera, but that was just really just trying the pegs out. So, as they go, the A peg is going to be for your 2.0s. So, like the full power Super Saiyan Goku, any Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku, Lowest Born Saiyan, any of those Gokus, that would be the one that you need. Now, usually, these would be swappable very easily, but because these are third party, they're not necessarily the greatest, so Once you put that peg in, that's what you're gonna get. You're not gonna get anything besides that. So letter B is going to be for your 3.0s. So like your Namek Goku, the newer Goku's coming out probably. Who knows? But again, they're gonna be there to sort of give you that option. And then last but not C is going to be for your beast deities, at least from my current knowledge. Beast deities probably, probably not demoniacal fit, but of course here I have the original head sculpt, and just making sure to like, I dropped one, damn it, but just to like match them and everything. You can see it's like the same hole. They're completely different holes on the other ones. This one is like a much bigger one, and then A is so much tinier compared to the others. So for both of these, I am going to include the B socket because that is the one that I want to use, especially for this Namek Goku that I have here. So I'm gonna push that in easily, hopefully. You know what? I'm actually going to add a little bit of shock oil here and there. So again, something that you can use is you can warm these up, put a little shock oil here and there. One dab should be more than enough for both of these. You may be wondering what happened to my previous bottle. I had to swap it out because my other bottle was breaking, but this is still the same shock oil. Traxxas 30 shock oil. You can get it at like Walmart, Target. Probably not Target, but you know what I mean. So after that, hopefully this actually works. Let's see. It is going in slowly but surely. Okay, so let me get both of these in because this is probably going to take too long in video, so give me 1 second. Alright, so now I was able to actually put both of them in. Unfortunately, these are very bad quality, like very low quality, because this little piece broke and snapped right off the actual head sculpt, and I was putting like no pressure on this, by the way. So this is a common occurrence from what I've seen from these heads, where like the spikes actually break super easily, but they do fit pretty nicely and pretty snug into the actual socket and are super easy to swap out, which is definitely a plus. That's definitely not a bad thing whatsoever. So yeah. Now, for these as well, I have seen that these are also kind of hard to push in. So again, I am, instead of warming them up with water, because that's just gonna cause the plastic to get softer, I'm just going to put shock. Alright, I am now going to cut this video short because I actually ended up getting some almost boiling water, like not boiling, but like really warm water, like hot water at this point. And I was able to actually insert a lot of the actual head sculpts here. So they actually work really nice. Like, I actually do think these look phenomenal. And that was my initial sentiment. Like, these look amazing. Like, the hair looks so good. The faces match the skin tone of the legendary Super Saiyan Goku, which is why I wanted to use it here. But again, there's a lot of issues with these accessory kits. So I don't know where exactly I'm going to cut in the video, but again, they look great. They work well. Fortunately, I have not broken anything from the base form one, but again, these should be soft enough to where I can actually add the head sculpts pretty easily. At least hopefully. Yeah, there you go. So again, let me show you a couple of different ways that you can actually swap these out, insert them, and all that sort of stuff. So here's the looking to the side head sculpt. When you are removing these, be careful, just very slowly with your with the back of your finger. Just kind of continuously slide them from the back, using the entire head sculpt. Don't grab them from the ears, because if you grab them from the ears, you have a high chance of actually breaking the peg to the side. So do be careful with that. Again, these are actually really good looking, but I don't think that they're worth the price. I think there's a lot more risk to actually damage these guys than not. So again, these are great. They're awesome, but they're not worth the $40 that they're charging for these. More now, actually, because they're like very hard to get. So I'm not entirely sure if you'll be able to actually get these. So I think they look great. They're super easily swappable. Like, there's no issue with swapping the head sculpts either. So yeah, again, they look awesome. Focus, please. Thank you. It's just, there's a lot of issues with them. So I'm still gonna stick with my score that I initially gave it. It is a 4 out of 10. The reason for it is because, again, they're really good. They're amazing, even in terms of just looks. They do have a couple of gaps here and there, but that's something that will happen even in official figures. It happens. But the material that they actually used is too hard. It is not soft enough. You should not have to actually use warm water or hot water to soften these up. The face sculpts should not be hard plastic. That just causes a lot of issues. And if anything, the pegs, something that I think a lot of companies should do is to have the figures peg in or have pegs in here. Like the little sockets should be pegs. And then these have the actual sockets in them instead of the other way around. Because this just is going to cause a lot of breakage. So again, these are starting to get a little bit more hard as well. So it's probably going to be a little bit more difficult to insert them. But I like the way that they look. It's just, I don't think the execution was perfect. There's a lot of issues. I've seen so many people actually break these online. I see like continuous posts. It's like, oh, I broke these and I barely even got them. All that sort of stuff. So definitely a miss in terms of the quality department. But in the looks department, it's perfect. But yeah, I think a 4 is more than enough. Just look how good he looks. Like, God, 2 different looks for such a great figure. I'm really leaning towards this, but yeah. That's pretty much all the time I have for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think about this or these accessory kits, because I like them. I just think they missed the mark by just a bit. But yeah, besides that, like and subscribe and all that sort of jazz, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.